We're right in the middle of prom season, so I figured it's a perfect time to go over the things that I wish I knew when I was going to my prom. Stick around. Fellas, welcome back. It's Robert, your everyday gentleman. And like I said, today we're going over the things that I wish I knew when it came to prom. Now, if you're new to this channel, I want to thank you for clicking on the video. Here I talk about everything to do with men's lifestyle, whether it's fashion, grooming, accessories, fragrances, whiskey, cigars, really anything that has to do, again, with being a man in today's age. I invite you to subscribe and engage in the comments down below. And to my returning subscribers, I want to thank you for your continued support. And with that, let's jump into my tips. Now, I know that I'm a bit removed from my high school days and my going to prom days, but I did go to a few proms, and I'm going to show you guys a quick picture of one of the proms that I went to, just so you can see where I was at that time. Now, this is from the late 90s. I really didn't know exactly how to wear a suit. I think I was going for some kind of pachuco, zoot suiter vibe or something, especially with that hat. And I know it's a black suit and it's a little hard to tell, but you can make out that this suit does not fit me well. It's a little baggy. Those shoes are totally wrong for the outfit. The colors aren't too bad with the gray tie matching my hat and the black suit. There was definitely a lot of room for improvement. So that's why I wanted to put together this video, again, sharing the things that I wish I knew when I was going to prom. So with that, let's jump into it. Starting with number one, and obviously the thing that I really would have benefited from, fit is key. It doesn't matter whether you're wearing a suit or casual gear, jeans, t-shirt, fit of your clothing is the most important thing. It's even more important when it comes to your suit. Your jacket should fit you well, it should fit you snug, there shouldn't be too much excess fabric, it shouldn't be too long or too short. Same with your pants, they shouldn't be bunching up at the waist, you shouldn't have a lot of excess when it comes to the pant leg, and your pants should not be stacking on your shoe. Now, there's a number of different options when it comes to suits. You can, of course, get a custom suit. You can get a suit off the rack, whether it's a full suit or some suit separates, or you can even rent a suit. But whatever you decide to do, you gotta make sure you nail that fit. Tip number two, do not over-accessorize. Tie clips, pocket squares, boutonnieres, bracelets, watches, do not go overboard with this stuff, especially when it comes to the three that are on your torso. I would say stick with one, maybe two. You're most likely gonna have a flower boutonniere that's gonna match your date's corsage. So if you want another accessory, stick with either a tie clip or a pocket square. Personally, I would say the pocket square. And do not have a chain outside of your shirt. It doesn't look good. Tip number three, shoes. You have to make sure you're wearing the right shoes. I would say stick with a nice formal shoe. The shine of the shoe will vary depending on whether you're wearing a suit or a tux. If you're wearing a tuxedo, you can go with a high shine. If you're going with a suit, you can stick with a natural shine. Stay away from shoes with the box toes or overly pointy toes. Go with a nice classic slim silhouette in either black or brown. Stay away from the trendy slippers with blues or reds or anything outside of the classics, especially if they have embellishments like studs or shimmer or anything like that. Keep your shoes toned down, keep them classic. The reality is you're getting older and these shoes are probably gonna come in handy beyond this event. You may need a suit for a wedding, a job interview, a funeral, a number of different things as you're getting older. Having the right shoes is gonna come in handy. Now, sneakers with suits are a little more accepted now, and I do admit I do like the look of a suit with a nice sneaker, but it has to be the right sneaker. Don't do Air Force Ones or Jordans or anything that's a true streetwear shoe. Those shoes are too big and clunky and they're not gonna look good with the suit. Stick with a nice black or brown leather shoe with a white sole for a nice, clean, modern look. Tip number four, colors. Now, when it comes to prom, I see a lot of guys going over the top when it comes to colors. Wearing bright colored jackets with matching shoes because they want to stand out. But I think if you really want to stand out, go with a classic look. Nail that fit with a nice navy blue or charcoal gray suit, or if you're going with a tux, with a nice black tuxedo. And keep things standard when it comes to your shirt. Go with a nice, crisp, clean white shirt or a black shirt, depending on what suit you're wearing. Don't get too matchy-matchy either with your date. If you want to coordinate a little bit, maybe get a bit of the color that your date's wearing in the pocket square that you're going to be using. Or obviously you're going to be, like I said earlier, wearing a boutonniere along with their corsage. So you are going to be coordinated. I wouldn't do too much because it's not going to look as good as you think it might. Black tie events, which prom isn't a true black tie event, but it is most likely one of the first formal events you're going to be doing as you're going into adulthood. Black tie events were made for men to look sharp. You have to look good, right? But we shouldn't be seeking the attention. Instead, what we should be doing is complimenting our date. And our date should be the one that stands out. Tip number 5, ties. Learn how to tie a tie, especially a bow tie. Stay away from clip-ons. I can easily tell when somebody's wearing a clip-on. Clip-ons are way too neat. A real bow tie is a little bit messy. This is what you want. There's a number of tutorials out there on YouTube or on the web that'll teach you how to tie a bow tie, but make sure you're not going with a clip-on. I'll tell you, you're gonna look like a boss while everybody else is having their clip-on hanging off to the side. You unbutton your shirt, undo your bow tie, and you have that thing hanging. It's gonna look nice. Now, if you're opting for a standard tie, you wanna make sure that the width of the tie is similar to that of the width of your lapel. You also wanna make sure that the knot is appropriate for the width of the collar. I would say the half Windsor is a pretty safe bet for most collar types. And you wanna make sure that the point of your tie is landing right at the center of your buckle. And for a nice touch, make sure you get that dimple right below the knot. Tip number 6, belts and suspenders. One or the other, not both. Optimally, you want to go with suspenders with a suit, but you got to make sure your pants fit properly at the waist, whether the waist is made for you or that they have side tabs on the side that you can adjust so that the waist is properly on you. But you also want to make sure that you're using button suspenders. Don't use clip-ons. If all you can get is clip-ons, then just forget those and go with a standard belt. Now, when it comes to your belt, you want to make sure that the color of the belt is matching the color of your shoes. You also want to make sure that the belt is the appropriate length for your waist. You don't want to have too much strap hanging off to the side after you've buckled them. And absolutely no old, tired, worn out belts. There's nothing that's going to ruin your suit faster than putting on a belt that looks like it should have been retired ages ago. Tip number 7, remove the stitching from your suits. Can't tell you how many times I've seen people walking around with the stitching on either their vents on their jacket or on the pockets or the label that's on your sleeve. Those things are there for the suit to keep its shape while it's being sold. But once you purchase that suit, you take it home, make sure you remove those. In addition, just to add to that, make sure you're not buttoning that bottom button on your jacket. That's not made to be buttoned. You have a button there, but it's just for show. It's not to be buttoned. Tip number 8, and to me the most important one, be a gentleman. Remember, you're escorting your date to this event. Make sure you're tending to them and showing them a good time. Open doors, pull out chairs, offer your jacket if it's cold, dance, talk, joke, just have fun. Make sure your attention isn't going elsewhere, and make sure you're not drinking. Be the best version of yourself to make sure this event is memorable not only for you, but also for your date. Now, there may be some of you out there that are like me that are past your prom days, but you probably know somebody that could benefit from this video. If you do, make sure you share this with them. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you catch all future videos from this channel. And remember, being a gentleman is an everyday thing. Till the next time, fellas.